Back here in Maine, Brewer city officials celebrated their new gig town status, meaning businesses and residents will have another option for fast internet. During their monthly Coffee with the Mayor event, officials gathered in City Hall for a ribbon cutting and welcome to Fidium Fiber. More than 6,800 homes and businesses will now have access to multi-gig internet speed from Fidium.
Competition is not a bad thing in anything. It's a way to make sure people get what they need. Being able to have more than one business available for something always drives competition, which I think is the best way to drive business and to drive the ability to have good prices.
Fiber construction was completed 2 weeks ago and coincides with future plans for the city. During a budget meeting Tuesday night, it was announced a new website will be launched in September. That will create online access for residents or aspiring business owners to maneuver zoning, land use, codes, and more. They want the public to be more involved in community workshops for future initiatives. So to keep up with happenings in Brewer, you can follow the link on our website.